Hi. Hi, this is Bright Wolf, and I'm channeling a bit of sacred geometry, and I wanted to walk you through some of the understandings that I see. It's time now for you to really tune into your higher archangels and tune into your higher guides and realize that the world is being controlled by parasites, and even at third dimensional level, the Illuminati are sick fucks, and they are fucking our world. And excuse my French, but they are fucking our world and our future children and us. They are ruining everything for the sake of a little bit of power and a little bit of label time. And I tell you what, a little bit of magic can really help this world. A little bit of understanding the higher dimensions. This world is just physical. You have a job to do on the astral. You have a job to do on the tree of life. There's a cycle in the world. There's a cycle on the tree of life. Every time you reincarnate, when you learn a lesson, you move up to the tree of life to a different job. If you perfected being humble, but you still had, obviously defense mechanisms and being too competitive, you move to a different part of the tree to learn about, mental competition versus, relationships and faculties to do with communication and heart chakras. And so sacred geometry affects every part of your life. And on an astral planet, you are actually, you're at the bottom of the tree on the third dimension. And when you go to sleep and you dream, you're actually a warrior that travels out into the night to travel to these different spheres on the tree. And when you dream, you're actually on another level of the tree, fighting for your cause. And if you're not aware and you're not spiritually advanced, in the dream world, if you're eating too much meat and drinking too much alcohol and poisoning your body, you'll be eaten up by predatory kind of vampire energies that will just suck you away to the point where you're not even able to use your third eye for anything other than kind of emotional based dreaming. When you dream, you should be able to shamanistically understand rituals that your third dimensional life is taking. So the point is to understand how sacred geometry, everything has got to be aligned with your warrior self. You are a warrior. The goddess put you here to defend this astral realm, and as physical as it may be, it's still a realm of the tree of life, and you have to protect it and not be influenced by so much things, and be aware that you are actually that there are other paths that you have to defend against on the tree of life. And in the dream world, things are still happening, and on other realities, things are still happening. And unless you are grounded and actually understanding the high magical laws, how can you affect anything outside of your own reality? A rock can't affect much, can it? It can defend against things, but it can't affect much. But a person with human tools such as hands and intuition and fingers that are tools that can reach out, couldn't those be interdimensional? Couldn't you reach out to the other dimensions to affect your communication with Mercury, your love and your relationships with Venus, your imagination with the moon, your Apollo energy with the sun? There's all these different realms, and the reason we've had this history is because these gods exist in the astral realm, and they need your help, and they need you to tune into them and actually take on the lessons that they taught. And no matter which form they take, whether they're Egyptian or Greek, one of the ET messages of the world is to stop being religiously racist and stop being physically racist, stop being biased to things, and actually just see the message. I mean, Apollo is Apollo. The sun is still the sun. Death is still death. Love is still love. And it doesn't matter which form, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, if you strive to keep your heart open. I mean, I'm a white person, but my heart's open to Eastern religions, and Eastern religions should be open to Germanic and Caucasian religions, and in turn we should be learning how to interact. And magic is mysterious. It's not in your face. It's not just right there, but to the right energies it can teach you, and you can see how the tree of life and Eastern religions is very similar to the Torah, the Jewish religion, Kabbalah. The tree of life is so important, and the tree of life in ancient Egypt was actually the amount of constellations that were in the Milky Way, and it added up correctly. Mathematics is an interesting subject to get into, but I think for now we're going to keep it simple, keep it to the 7 chakras, keep it to the 12 zodiac signs and the 12 levels of the tree of life. And to really, first of all, not only am I encouraging star awareness, but I'm also encouraging magical awareness. The tree of life is in you, and you need to take up that warrior. Do your rituals. Even the most successful people in the world use visualizations. So being a magician is about actually using visualizations and understanding rituals to empower the third dimension and reach out like a magnetic force, like the sun, to not just burn in your ultimate vicinity, but to give life in other areas, to, like, say, planet Earth. So you will give love and life into something, a sphere in your galaxy, and you will reach out to the sine waves, to other energies, and the spheric intelligence that your other astral bodies have. I mean, I'm not going to try and pretend to talk blatant anymore. I'm just going to try and talk, and if people don't get it, they can get it on someone else's video. But for me, it's like the goddess and Mother Earth, like the caduceus is also a representation of the pathways of the middle pillar when you talk about your magic ritual. So the first thing you need to do is always have protection. I think protection is so important. I mean, I just put up a sigil on my door, which was a pentagram with a heart in it, and I instantly got sick the next day. So I made the mistake of not putting a circle around my sigil, and obviously something has attacked me in the astral. So I'm definitely open, but just knowledge isn't important. It's down to understanding that, like, in the astral world, there's things out there that want to hurt you just as much as help you, and unless you've got your eyes in the right place, you won't even be able to know what's out there. I mean, is ignorance bliss, or is that stupidity? Sometimes knowledge can actually help you. Knowledge can actually make you aware. I mean, best travelers have maps, right? There's nothing wrong with understanding a bit of knowledge. I mean, we are all eternal, and so is knowledge. So you can't say, I'll only pick and choose stuff from the Christian era because it has, politically correct knowledge. I mean, there's so much energy before that. I mean, there's been times when we've lived in Atlantean times when we knew about crystals, and there's been giants walking the earth. These things still exist in the Akashic records, and as an astral influence, I'd like to think that I'm not just some type of rotting deer carcass in the astral world, that I actually have intention and muscle. And when I dream of taking Montum Gold has helped, but also I think that being grounded has helped. It's like being grounded isn't like something that you go, I need to be more serious. I mean, if you go down from your brain, you go straight down to your heart, and I think it has to be the same with grounding, focus on your heart. Most spiritual energies, it's what you feel. It's been proven that blind people can actually see with their heart. I mean, there's been tests where they recruited people for NASA, people who can do remote viewing because they're blind, but they can, in the astral, their eyes are somewhere else. They can read like the barcodes off satellites and stuff because they can actually literally see with another chakra energy and vibration. And the body is just interdimensional. I mean, magnetism. I mean, are you telling me awareness is relative to black and white? I mean, people say that there's only one way of doing things. They're just brainwashed into the matrix, and they have a life that's their path to be that energy, and but there is more to life than just sucking the dick of like government propaganda. There's got to be a point where it's like, you can't tell me that with all that beauty and energy, you're here to just read textbook life. There's so much life out there. At one point, there would have been unicorns and people who could fly, living on this planet. And we've obviously fallen to an energy level where we're so confused that we need paper to represent worth. I mean, but you are a light body. You've got a physical body. On the tree of life, you've got a mental body, which focuses on communication. You've got physical body. You've got a golden body. You've got an animal body. You've got a feminine body. You've got a masculine body. You've got a child body. You've got an old body. You've got an eternal body. You've got all these bodies, which represents there's more dimensions on the tree of life, but everything is connected, and everything is just like perfectly aligned so that you as soul can do your job to be a warrior for like the aim